Hello everybody, it's Tori, and welcome back to another episode of the Dorm Debrief podcast. Alright you guys, so for today's episode, we're really going to keep it short and simple, and I know, trust me, I know I say it in every single video, almost every single video now, that, oh my gosh, this is going to be a short video, it's only going to be 5 minutes. Those have all been lies, because if y'all have watched the previous videos, they've been like 20 minutes long, because I just like to talk, y'all, like, at this point, I feel like y'all should know that I could really go on a tangent, but I promise, like, if I don't live up to this promise, I don't know what to tell y'all. But I promise this video is going to be around 10 minutes. It's definitely not going to be no 20 minutes. I promise. All right. So the topic for today is going to be conviction. Specifically, my convictions, what recently I feel like I've been convicting myself with or have been feeling convicted with. And I feel like everyone can relate to this because specifically for young people, for people who are going through a rough time, for people who are starting like their self-care journey, or they're just jumping into a whole new mental state, they're trying to reprogram their mind, we're noticing a lot of things about ourselves that are like patterns, and we're like, hey, like, I don't really like that. I don't want to live like this anymore. So we're going to be talking about those today. So to get straight into the topic, really what my biggest conviction recently has been my phone. And honestly, I feel like I should have titled this podcast episode, It's Really That Damn Phone, because it really is that damn phone. And I know everybody and their mama used to say that when they were growing up, get off the phone, like, you know, and you complain about a grade or something happens, right? And your mom's like, it's that damn phone. And she's not wrong. I feel like the older that you get, the more that you realize, yes, it is the phone. And, you know, guys, as a telecommunications major, as someone who's studying, you know, the growth of media industries constantly, like, it's scary what's going on these days. And it's scary how what we consume and how we consume it has completely altered who we are as people, our beliefs, and overall our lives. And that's not necessarily like a scary thing. I don't want to impose fear on people or anything like that. But like coming from someone who, obviously I haven't gotten too deep into my major yet, but coming from someone who is in that field, it's someone who is listening to professionals in that field talk about it, like, it is a really fast-paced and honestly scary world that we are in today when it comes to mass and social media. And with that being said, you know, as we're growing as individuals, as we're growing into adults, if you're already an adult listening to this, as we're growing into a new version of ourselves, I feel like one of the biggest things that it has been for me is letting go of that addiction. Whether you want to call it an addiction or not, I'm going to be the one to give you the hard truth. It's an addiction. You guys, when we're talking about how can I let this go, how can I still feel connected with the world while deleting social media, how is this going to help me change my mental? And I can tell you it's going to help you change your mental in so many ways because I'm also going through this journey myself. I'm not afraid to admit that, yeah, I have an addiction. But like I said, how do we change that? How do we not let it control our lives? And also, how do we stop letting that stray us away from our relationship with God? Now, how I knew that I had this conviction, it was just plain and simple, and it was just a repetitive cycle where I felt unmotivated and specifically unproductive. Like, as a college student, you know you have so many assignments to do on a daily basis. All of these things stressing you out. You got to feed yourself. You got to do this. You got to do laundry. You got to tuck yourself in bed. Like, you got to do all of these things, y'all. Not even as a college student, but as a young adult, right? All of these things that you're learning. There's not a lot of mental space that you have up here that you have to just be freely offered, right? And that's what a lot of the times we do when we go and we scroll for hours on social media. We're giving up our free mental space, right? Something that can be put towards, I don't know, like what, reading a new book, right? I bought this book knowing that I haven't even touched my other books. But like, I bought this book because it's like, I really want to educate myself on fasting. Have I read it yet? No. All the time, the screen time that I got, like, what, 3 hours? Could have been 3 hours of this. And I know I'm not the only one, so that's why I'm talking about it. But at the same time, when we're talking about, you know, how can I let it go? Like I said, for me, it was delete the app. I deleted the app. Besides from posting on my social media for my podcast, for this podcast, I deleted the app. Because I no longer want to feel like a slave to social media. And if, trust me, I don't want to scare y'all, but if you knew how these social media companies operate and how their primary goal, I'm gonna leave it at this, Social media's primary goal, specifically Facebook, is advertising. That should say a lot about how, you feel like you're addicted on the screen 24/7. How you see something, you're like, oh, and then you go on a whole tangent of shopping on Shein or Temu and all of these things. Because most social media companies' primary goal is to sell you to other things, to sell your data. Like, you ever wonder why, you're talking about something, or say you're kind of searching something up, right? And then all of a sudden, you just go on Instagram, TikTok, or wherever it is, and it just pops up, right? It's because they are watching what you are putting out there. They're watching what you're searching up, and they're giving you what you want to keep you engaged in their app. They're selling you. And if that doesn't put it in perspective enough, like I said, I'm trying to keep this video short. We could talk about that in a whole nother episode. But, at the same time, that plays a huge role in the way that we cannot let social media go in our addiction. And so delete the app. Like, literally delete the app. And when it comes to, I don't know what to do. Because I knew that I had this conviction, y'all, again, when I would, try not to be on social media. And then all of a sudden, I'm, sitting there bored and I'm anxious because my mental craves that dopamine rush. My mental is craving, I want that short laugh. I want that funny video. But at the end of the day, I keep scrolling for hours because I'm never getting that fulfillment of satisfaction, right? So it's I need to find something that actually satisfies me. I had to move the camera because it's getting a little dark in here. Sun's going down. You guys can't. Oh no, I'm starting to yawn. I can't get tired. I cannot get tired. I have so much stuff to do today. But yeah, so guys, to make it simple, delete the app, and also watch why you feel convicted. For me, like I said, I couldn't be productive. I literally would do assignments, and they were simple assignments, and my whole attention span is so messed up because of social media. I would put my phone right next to my computer, right? And every time I felt pick up my phone. Where's my phone? It's recording. Pick up my phone and scroll on Instagram, and then plan on being there for 5 minutes, and then I end up being on there for 30 minutes, and then I still have this assignment to do. Next thing you know, it's 12 o'clock at night, and I have half of an assignment left, and I'm supposed to be in bed by 10:30. That's really how it works, and I know I am not the only one that does that. So pick up new habits, you guys. I'm kind of excited to show you guys this, but I started painting and drawing because, I guess I have kind of a hidden talent, maybe. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But I started painting and drawing, and it's just something that relaxes my mind, and I've started listening to worship music as I draw, because for me that's just a little devotional where I feel like I can spend time with God, and I'm doing something that's relaxing and it's fulfilling my spirit, it's fulfilling my mind, and I'm not constantly looking for something to give me instant dopamine, right? I'm just relaxed. I'm tracing. Let me show y'all this other one because I'm really proud of it. It's not finished yet. Oh, is this a light? Oh. But I love this one, and when it's fully painted, it's going to be absolutely crazy. But it's supposed to embody femininity, and has little flowers in the boobies. I love lotus flowers, you guys. So, and lilies. So these are lilies and lotus flowers. But anyways, so find something. But you guys, now that we've talked about, my personal experience with conviction, specifically social media, that's not the only thing that I feel convicted by. And, I don't know how far along, if even, you guys are in your relationship with God. But being closer to God and being closer in relationship with Him and constantly learning new things, y'all are going to hear a draft because my window, we have no insulation here. But constantly being in reverence with Him and asking Him for things and looking for Him in everything, I have realized there are some habits that I've been okay with my whole life that need to change. Habits that pull me away from God, habits that I'm starting to realize, how did I not see this at first? And if you really think about it, it's you cannot hate on the people, as a Christian, as someone who believes, you cannot hate on people out there listening to, secular music and all of these things, because they don't know any better. The same way that I didn't know any better. You can't put those people in a box because you were there once too. I was there once as well. I would literally listen to music that praise the devil. It literally would say demonic things in it, and I had no idea, right? And so that's the power of walking with God that I kind of hinted at in another episode. But you can really see how God turns your life around and shows you the light of different things. So with that, when it comes to my second conviction, recently I've been very, very convicted with music too. This one has been lingering on my soul for a little bit longer, honestly, because I started realizing, that was probably one of the first things I started realizing. But I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about it now. And okay, I have to remind myself that I have to keep this episode short somewhat. But the music industry today, guys. This could, oh my gosh, I need to make this a whole nother episode because I can go on a whole tangent about the music industry today. But the music industry today is getting darker by the second. And if I sound like a conspiracy theorist, then so be it. But Cardi B, oh Lord, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Cardi B and there was another, Drake just posted a video with these signs up. I hate that I just signed that. Lord, please forgive me. But child, I need to pray for a sec. Those signs were in public social media posts by family members. Ooh, you know what I realized? I gotta be careful. Y'all better not stitch that. I am not a devil worshiper. But those are signs thrown up by big name artists these days. And it cannot be more obvious, you guys. I don't know what else can be more obvious than the little devil symbols being thrown up on their main page social media. But these artists are demonic. And as a follower of God, I've realized and I've seen it right away now. And I'm like, wow, you can't run away from it anymore. But I started feeling these convictions not long ago, but in the first, sections or kind of parts where I would be more heavily involved with God. And it started with lyrics. For me, I would listen to something and I'm like, da 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 da, and then it says something about, make them pray on a knee to the devil or something like that, and I'd be like, oh, what did he say? And I would hear that and I'm like, oh, I don't know, that doesn't sit right with me, because knowing, the God that I worship, where I come from, how I feel in my heart, I'm like, oh, but I was used to listening to that stuff and I never really saw a problem with it. And it's kind of like when your eyes are fixed on the Lord, your eyes get less fixed on other things, get less fixed on worldly things. I don't know. It just started with the lyrics. It was the Drake songs. It was y'all, if y'all know me, I'm from the DMV. There's nothing else to say about that. DMV people, we like hard rap. We don't got New York drill, but we got hard rap. And I find myself liking hard rap. I can't lie to you guys. I still kind of do. I'm not going to lie. But that's something that I feel heavy conviction on. So like I said, it started with the lyrics, right? Then after it started with the lyrics, it started with who I'm listening to. Because what happens is when you start listening to lyrics, when it comes to the artist, you notice a pattern within their lyrics because it's a pattern of their music, right? That's the type of music that they produce. So I'm listening to these artists. It's about to get dark soon, so I gotta really turn up this brightness for you guys. But as I started listening to their music, I'm like, you know what? I'm not really comfortable with this, so let's not listen to the artist at all. And now I'm going to say it was really easy when it started, with the not so known rappers, the kind of underground, like the DMV artist, right? But when it got to the big name artist, that was a completely different issue at hand. Yeah, the big name artist, you guys, I'm talking about, I'm talking about Drake. I'm talking about J. Cole. That was a hard one for me because I love me some J. Cole. I really love J. Cole. Don't gas me in the comments. I don't want to hear J. Cole over Kendrick Lamar. I don't want to hear about the big three. I don't want to hear about that. But J. Cole, Cardi B now, y'all, Playboy Cardi. And another one that really hurts my soul is Montel Fish. And I don't know if y'all know Montel Fish, but Montel Fish is a famous Christian artist. At least he was. Recently, number one, he fell off. And number two, I don't know what happened during that fall off, but now his music is demonic. There's no other way to put it than that. He partnered with DJ Gummy Bear, which y'all can do your own research if I'm trying to keep this video short. But big name artists like that have really been showing their true colors, and specifically the true colors of the media industry. Now, like I said, this podcast is not supposed to instill fear in anybody's heart, But as a believer in Jesus Christ, I believe that Jesus is coming back. And I know how I sound. Trust me, I know how I sound. I'm not delusional, I'm not brainwashed. So if you want to think that, you can think that. But at the same time, I want to purify my soul and get right with God, do whatever I need to do here before that happens. Because I don't know, maybe that's why I've been feeling a lot of conviction recently, because it's like, my child, get on your Zoom, because it's just been weighing on my heart heavy. I don't want to be left behind. When it comes to these big name artists, I am so used to listening to Drake, like, out of body. That's just how I feel when I'm around you, shawty. Like, y'all know that song, like, Teenage Fever is such a, like, everybody knows that song. It's such a top artist song, like, everybody loves that song. I'm not gonna lie, like, that is one of my favorite songs, but every time now that I listen to it, or listen to any of Drake's songs, any of J. Cole's songs, I don't mind, something feels wrong within me, and that's when I knew that it was a conviction. That's when I knew it was a problem. In the same way that I had to stop listening to those lyrics and literally turn the music off as soon as I hear it and switch to another song, it's the same way now that as soon as I hear it, I have to switch to another artist, because those artists have patterns within their music. It's not going to stop song to song. And me and my friend were actually just talking about this the other day, how he had to remove all of his Drake songs off his playlist because of this conviction. And that's when I felt like I wasn't the only one, and that's when I felt seen, and then I felt like I wasn't going crazy, like it's not just me feeling this way. And hopefully this episode brings that to you guys and makes you see, maybe I'm not crazy, maybe, like, you know, this is a conviction that I actually have to take seriously. And if it's going to be me to tell you, if it's going to be anybody, I'm going to tell you that yes, you need to take it seriously. If you're feeling a type of way, then listen to it. Because sometimes we think it's our own intuition, but it's actually God telling us something to do. You know, I'm human, guys. I have flesh and blood that is not a part of my soul. And so I still battle with my flesh every day. I still battle with the fact of listening to secular music. And I'm not perfect. I am fully capable of sin because I am human, and so are you. But at the same time, those are just convictions that I've been praying heavily for God to free me from. Wow, it's getting dark again. Okay, there you go. For God to free me from, because like I said, not only do I not want to be left behind, but like I also don't want to feel the way that I feel listening to that type of music. Like, music is supposed to make you feel good. I want to feel good listening to type of music, right? So I need to try to find more artists that cater towards basically what I want to hear. Artists that cater towards, you know, the love of God, and artists that cater towards my soul and making me feel good when I'm listening to it, without making me feel convicted, without making me feel I'm listening to people talk about killing each other and shooting each other and worshiping the devil and 5 baby mamas or whatever it is, you know. But yeah, they do got a good beat to them, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like it's up to us, you know, as a new generation, also up to you as an individual, even if you're not, you know, Catholic, Christian, have belief in God, whatever it is for you. It's like, as a person in general, as like a humane person, sometimes like we just need things to clarify our minds, clarify how we feel on the inside, right? And so if that's a conviction for you, or something similar is a conviction for you, take it seriously. And like I said with this episode, hopefully somebody feels seen by me saying this. And I'm gonna check back when I'm editing it to see if it's under 10 minutes or a little bit above 10 minutes, because it's definitely not no 20 minutes. At least I hope not. You know, at the same time, I'm so happy that you guys tuned in for today's episode. I want to talk about this stuff so much more often, because like I said, I could go on a whole tangent about the music industry. But we'll get to that in another episode. But I'm thankful that you guys joined today, and I will see y'all in another episode.